Hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to TGIF Talks, episode 157. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep. To my co-host,
And that's my name?
Phil. I was hoping you would say it, but you know.
That's not how we've done it before.
Well, I was going to change it up. Whatever. Roll the intro.
By the way, my name's... that meme I sent you.
What meme? Oh, the Amazon one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's painfully true. It's painfully untrue and funny.
It's true. Bezos doesn't get to see a cent of the money he makes.
Yeah. And then Kyle was just like, I make a dime for every...
My manager gets paid $1 and I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Yes. How he asked to poop on company time. I don't know how else he'd ever get anything else done in his life.
Plastic gloves turn into hot sauce? What is the title?
Turning plastic.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's Nile Red for you. He's done some crazy things.
Turning a plastic glove into hot sauce.
Actually, I wanted to show you this. So, this video is now the second most viewed video on the podcast channel. The 1918 throwback. Where we were talking about, I think we brought up the Olympics and then also the eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
And for whatever reason, the video, because, like, you know, throw it back is like a saying you would do to, like, get a girl to shake her butt. And so... but I don't, so I was like, okay.
I thought throwback was what you say when you want to, like, reference something from the past.
Well, yeah, it's also that. But, like, in modern times, throwback is to throw it back, like, you know, to twerk. Well,
I haven't heard that. I've heard bend over.
No, I mean, okay, boomer. But,
I guess I'm not up with the times.
No, you're not. So anyways, so I was like, okay, whatever. I'll throw these two random models on there and then Brooke Monk and Livy Dunn. And apparently, that's all it took to get 81 views. And I'm just like, okay. All right. I mean, this...
1918 Olympics?
That's the one with the marathon?
No, that was 1904.
Oh, I think we had the year wrong.
Oh. Did we talk about the Olympics in that?
We do. But we even Googled it, I thought, in the podcast.
Wait, is that what it was? Was it 1918? First... Was it marathon?
It's first Olympics in the U.S., I thought.
No, because that was New Orleans in 1904.
Oh! You just proved yourself wrong, then. It is 1918.
What? It is 1918?
Yeah, because you just said New Orleans 1904. So
or no, not New Orleans. It was in St. Louis.
That's the one with the worst marathon ever.
Yeah, that was in 1904.
We'll type in 1904 Olympics. Yeah.
I told you.
Men's marathon.
Yeah, 1904. A bizarre.
A bizarre fair to poor organization.
Why do you say 1918 though?
I don't know. Well, we also just talk about the eclipse.
Oh. Well, because that was the last time that the Great American Eclipse happened.
Yeah. But
99 years later, 2017.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so I threw that thumbnail together. Thought it was kind of funny and got 81 views for no apparent reason. I will say I do like how this one had a color periodic table, got 44 views. I'll take that. But now we've got 3 HOAs still. The intro, which is all just us. And then these two random videos in last month. Otherwise, after that, it's Can Water Star Nuke. Rondo coming on the podcast for the first time. This one, which I think is funny. AI missiles and groceries. But these are all old. So. these are all within, well, except for the HOA stuff, it's all within recent. Well, only 2 recent ones.
Well, the other one was semi-recent. Go back.
10 months.
10 months. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, we just did that this summer. Oh, but that's the Utah path.
Yeah.
I was like, this last summer we just did 5 national parks.
It's weird that you have a For You thing now. It recommends your own video. It's telling me.
Oh, For You?
Yeah. Oh.
It recommends your own videos?
But maybe that's only on your channel. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works. But
there are only 1 trillion atoms of this. Is that acetine?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what Theodore Gray said.
There's only 1 trillion.
In, the North American crust. He said it's going down 10 miles. That's a lot. I learned we can make a polonium.
From the book?
Yeah. All we gotta do is bombard some bismuth with neutrons. And we can make ourselves some polonium. So if you have any KGB people or anybody you want to assassinate, let me know. We'll have to find a neutron source, which will be easier said than done. I'm not even sure where you would go to. I knew, the kid who built a quote-unquote nuclear reactor in his backyard, he just built a really powerful neutron source. He didn't actually build a nuclear reactor. But he tried. He was harvesting thorium powder from... I don't remember where he was harvesting it from. But, yeah. But, is what it is.
Is what it is.
No, we're in the part of the elements where it's just kind of boring now.
Boring?
Yeah, because, once we get past, americium...
Oh, well.
It's going to be boring. Really, really boring.
You're talking about the physicists that they represent.
Oh, yeah. How exciting. So,
Talk
yeah.
about Lawrence. He invented the cyclotron.
Suppose that's true.
He was in
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly.
He was Oppenheimer's best friend.
Exactly. See, you can drop all these subtle things in there.
Still waiting on Oppenheimer to make its way to Blu-ray. I don't know what that's about.
We're nearing halfway through the month.
Halfway through what month?
November? It's the 12th? We're nearing halfway. Through the month. The November's almost half over.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was just so random. I was talking about Oppenheimer getting released on Blu-ray.
Well, yeah. I was like, it seems to be taking its sweet old time. November's almost half over.
Yeah, okay. Now I understand.
That's I'm saying time is flying by, and it hasn't came out yet.
Yeah, kind of weird. I wonder why it hasn't come out yet. I didn't think it was that much more popular than Barbie. I thought Barbie was more popular.
Let's see.
Well, that's to stream.
November 21st.
So, we'll release on Blu-ray.
Oh, it'll be released on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K Ultra on November 21st.
Jesus. So that's...
Why so long? I don't know.
Next Monday. So I didn't know this. I thought our Thanksgiving was going to be next Sunday. No, it's the following Sunday. It's the Sunday after.
I have no idea.
Neither did I. I was sitting there Friday at my dad's, and he's just like... And my brother's just like, you didn't know? I'm like, no one told me. I wasn't informed. And then
I'm sure my parents.
Then Then I looked back. She'd sent it months ago, telling us that it was gonna be months ago, this summer.
Well, I think I recall that.
What? You expected me to remember that?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't remember somebody told me yesterday, let alone.
Bro, I don't remember what I had for breakfast.
Exactly. So I was just like, What dumbass came up with that idea? Let's tell. Well,
Your aunt.
well, I also learned why they decided to have it the weekend after is because they're on a secret trip, I guess.
Secret.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
They're always on a trip every year.
Yeah, but this one was secret. I don't know. Don't ask me. Where did they say they were going? Because my brother's going to Romania.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he doing there?
He's so.
Any special reason or just vacation?
Well, it's a special. So there's just this long explanation.
Is a girl to meet there?
No, basically his friend. So in Romanian Orthodox Church, the bride and groom get godparents. You know, like how a child has godparents.
Okay.
Well, they have godparents, and each of the godparents is allowed to invite 30 people to the wedding.
Holy cow!
So my brother was one of the 30 for the groom, for the groom's godfather. So here's how many people that is, because that's 60. That's 120 people. Because each I'm assuming there's 4 godparents. I would assume, maybe only 2, but it's either 60 or 120 people, which is a lot of just random people.
Oh, do you need godparents on both sides of the family?
I don't know how it works. I don't know if the godparents are just for both of them or it's one for each. I mean, 2 for each. I don't know. Or one set, I guess.
I don't know.
Don't know. I didn't ask. I don't think he knew. So, but no, that is why he's going to Romania. Because he like texted me the other day and needed to know our mom's middle name, and how it was spelled. And I was just like, that's our aunt question or our dad. And I'm like, let me guess, you're filling out your passport? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yep, because I had the same question in my passport. So isn't that weird, right? Like that's such a specific question that like that you like. I was able to pick up like, yeah, that's for your passport, isn't it? That's so weird.
Yeah.
But it's a very specific question.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. No. So the observatory was... No annoying kids came up to me this time.
Oh, good.
So it was much more... other than the fact that the wind got over the wall, and I wasn't dressed to be out there for an extended period of time. Like, I didn't have my heavier jacket on. But, I mean, it was weird, right? So when the wind hit you, yeah, the jacket I was wearing was not sufficient. But otherwise, when there was no wind, the jacket I was wearing was perfectly sufficient. So it was very annoying. And then I was walking...
Did they give you crap for not showing up Friday?
Was right? No.
Oh, the little stargazing.
No. I mean, anybody there...
I was curious how many people went.
No idea.
Because I was thinking about going out to Claytonia, but I was like, kind of want to just go out to Friend and see what it's like out there. Because it's closer. It's like 40 minutes away, half hour away.
Right. So did you go to our...
Well, I did. I did go to the first spot in Beaver Crossing, and then that was awful. The problem was that all the lights from Beaver Crossing were just blinding. Like the street lights and stuff. Because those lights are visible. And so I decided to go to our other spot. So all those lights were below the hill. And then it was a lot clearer. Because then you're also south of Friend, too. But like I was telling you, it's like the Little Dipper, everything, it was just not very clear. It was like everything was dimmed down. That's how I describe it.
Welcome to Nebraska for stargazing.
Everything was just dimmed down. I think it has to do with the humidity. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. No, but yeah, we no, we just
Just what?
We had Jupiter in one scope.
Yeah,
Saturn.
Jupiter was really bright.
As always.
Jupiter was...
It's close to opposition, or just past
very
it.
bright.
I think it might be in opposition, to be honest.
I'm I did see Saturn. Because at first, I was like, it's not Arcturus. It's like Arcturus is below the horizon. I was like, that must be Saturn. Sure enough.
Yeah, so
That's usually the case. Whenever there's a bright star that's not in the right spot, it's usually a planet.
yeah, that is how they discovered them. And then we had M15, the middle one, which I didn't realize how dim it was gonna be. It was very dim, and I just thought to myself, like, oh, no wonder they always tell me not to pick those objects. They were dim. It was dimmer than I was expecting. It's supposed to be like, the densest globular cluster in the night sky. So it really does show that the Hercules cluster or the Beehive cluster are both much brighter objects, apparently. So, and then it was like 4 minutes into the night, and they had finally, the side scope, because the previous weekend it had gotten out of alignment because they I don't know what they were doing. But the console came unplugged mid-slew at one point, which meant that it was completely unaligned after that point and just completely screwed up. So, so this week they needed to get it done. But of course, you don't need to align it to go to Saturn. You can see Saturn, but if you want to do anything else. So, one of the guys that was here spent the entire time. It was funniest thing. I showed up and they were like,
what was that?
I was yawning.
Yeah, and he kept talking as if you were saying those words.
Well, anyways, no, the funniest thing was I showed up and there was only one. So I showed up and the guy was like, yeah, the only one volunteer that was supposed to be here was actually there.
No.
Well, two technically, I guess, because his wife was the deck supervisor. That is the supervisor. Then he's the lead deck. Then he's lead on deck. None of the other volunteers showed up. I'm like, oh. And he's like, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll run a scope.
Okay.
So I got wrangled into 2 hours of volunteering. So I'm putting in lots of time this month.
Do they log those hours?
Yeah.
And what do they use them for?
Well, I mean, if you need it for your hours to be logged with the city or whatever, for whatever reason you need your volunteer hours logged, then you would log it. Then this would be the right way to log it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you... Otherwise, it's to figure out who, volunteer of the year.
You get like a little prize?
You get a placard on the wall. It says volunteer. You get a little printed certificate in a frame, and then your picture gets put on the wall, and it says volunteer of the year. Won't be me unless I literally show up every night, because there's two guys that literally show up pretty much every single night. It was the funniest thing. One of the guys that was there, he's a teacher, and he was just like, I overheard that the only reason why if he wouldn't show up every night if he didn't have a date that week. I joked over to the deck supervisor. I'm like, yep, I'm the same thing, except I perpetually never have a date. So he's like, oh, so you'd be here every time? I'm like, for the most part.
For the most part.
But, I could have streamed last night. I didn't. I was busy doing, cleaning up my apartment. Kind of. Just reshuffling the mess. Realistically is what I've done.
Reshuffling the mess.
I haven't reshuffled this mess. But the mess out there I reshuffled and reorganized. Mm-hmm. My shelves are freaking full. And I've been debating if and when I get enough Blu-rays, I'm going to have to go and buy a shelf from Menards and then input another shelf on the Blu-ray shelf.
Oh, so you're not going to buy a whole nother...
No, I don't know where I'd put it.
Move your bike over.
But the bike can't move any further.
I think you can.
But then the outlets are in the way.
On the other side of the outlet.
Then where I suppose.
You can cover an outlet.
There might be enough. No, not. There might. It's my fiber optic. I don't think there's enough room there for a shelf. Plus, what the hell am I going to put it? Then the shelf's just useless. Then I can't access it easily.
Can't access that one easily.
It's full of useless junk, pretty much. So, but this would have useful stuff on it. So my idea is to expand that shelf out there by basically raising all the shelves up to where they're basically the minimum height needed to put a DVD in there.
Yeah.
And then you can just... I was thinking I could probably add 2 shelves to that. 2 whole rows of Blu-rays. Which is fine.
Well, do they have holes all the way down? Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
No, I will just add my own.
You have to make new holes, yeah.
Yeah, I will just make more holes. Which will be difficult. I was just thinking... Oh, right. I was actually thinking about working on this video. But then I was just like, well, then I have to talk to our step-grandfather about using his drill press.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know, he probably doesn't even use it.
Probably not.
Probably hasn't been used in years.
So, should ask him about that. But, no. It was just, been a weird weekend. Didn't have to mow. Like, it was I kept, like, running out of time. Cause
you didn't have to mow?
No.
Are you done mowing now?
I don't know.
Oh.
Grandma does not know. She will call me Friday. She almost said screw it. And I convinced, my dumb ass convinced her to say, no, don't just say screw it. I'm an idiot. She was like, it doesn't get done. I should have just been like, okay. All right, well done for the year then. I should have just left it at that. But my dumb ass, no. Didn't say that. So what's annoying, because if you look how close I am to 800 subscribers. So...
I don't know if I hit it this week.
Well, I was actually at 8. I was at 798 at one point, but then the person unsubscribed. But
3 in a week.
We've been doing it.
We have done it. It is possible.
No. Like up until like this week, I went up many subscribers.
Oh.
So it was on track to do it, and literally all I'd have to say is, "Hey Buck, I'm getting close to 800." He'd be like, "Say no more."
How long is that? I want to do.
Pull up the calculator.
This works too. 13 hours.
Yeah. So it will... I guess it could be done on a Sunday. So it will probably be... I would like to do it on a Saturday instead of a Sunday. But whatever needs to be done will need to be done.
13 hours. What time would you start it? Would you start it at 7 in the morning?
6 or 7.
6 or 7?
If it's a Sunday, I gotta start at 6. Which means I'll need to be up at like 5. So
which means I'm probably not coming over that Sunday.
No. But like I said, but that's the thing, right? Next weekend I don't work because the boss is just like, I'll give you the weekend off. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
But now it's a matter of...
you finally get your weekends off. It's November.
Yeah. So I had yesterday off. I didn't use it well.
When you get this next weekend off?
Yeah. But, which I will have to spend sitting in front of a computer for 13 hours. At some point. Either it's going to be Saturday or it's going to be Sunday. I don't...
And what do you do for 13 hours?
I don't... Probably just play Minecraft.
For 13 hours?
I did last time. Last time I literally just played Minecraft for the entire time.
Well, I might join for a little bit. Can I join for a little bit?
Sure. Well, last time I wanted guests, and I didn't get any guests, so...
I'll join for a little bit before I... Friends and I usually hang out at like 3 or 4, so...
Yeah, if we do it Saturday, it might end up being done Sunday. I don't know.
Well, then I could join it Sunday. I would not be here at 6 a.m., but, I could be here at like 10 or something.
Right.
And then I'd probably leave at like 4 or something.
Like I said, we'll just have to wait and
play it
see.
by ear. Yeah, if you play Minecraft the whole time, let me know.
And then we're going to have to wait and see if it doesn't get done next weekend. I don't know when my next weekend off is. Because we did just hire somebody finally. But she doesn't start until the Monday after Thanksgiving. she could have started next Tuesday, but boss is like, oh, you know what? Why don't you, go spend time with your family or whatever? And then the rest of us are just back here like, yeah, I wish we could, but, you take, Black Friday off every year. So, we're stuck here. Play nice.
I'm thinking about taking that Wednesday off. I haven't decided.
Have
Before
fun.
Thanksgiving. Well, because I have doctor's appointments and stuff scheduled. And I'm just like, I could just take the whole day off. Because I have it scheduled early in the morning at like 8.
I
don't know.
When does... So, your brother's taking the spring off, right, for classes?
Yeah. That is true. So he's not officially graduating.
What is he going to do in that time?
I think he said look for internships or jobs or something.
In doing what? Does he know what he wants to do with his life?
Or is it a gap period? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Because it's just like, he hasn't said, okay, he wants to go back and get his English degree, but what is he planning to do with the English degree?
I don't know. Right? Become a writer? I don't know.
Become a writer.
I don't know. I try not to ask those questions because he doesn't know and it just stresses him out.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's something he needs to know, but I get it. I was in that same position. I graduated with the degree. It was like, I don't know what I want to do. And I got to tell you though, those 3 months after I graduated.
Oh, I don't want to hear it again.
Before I applied, it was a good time.
Could always go back.
Always go back? I am going back.
There you go. I mean,
I already am back in school.
But not get an associate's. Go back, I don't know. Get a master's in something.
Get a master's in something?
Yeah.
UNL doesn't have a master's in physics, though.
I said something. I didn't say physics.
So I'd have to go back and get a bachelor's.
No.
Well, how do you start from zero? Do I turn my math into a master?
Nope. You just because of the way the master's program works, you can just go. Most of the masters, you can just go with whatever you have for your bachelor's and just do that. They don't even do the GREs anymore for most masters.
Oh yeah.
Because they realize because the whole point of the GREs was to prepare people for their masters.
Mm-hmm.
But then they got rid of it during COVID, and they realized, oh, the people that want a master's want a master's. The GREs are just an unnecessary step. It was to weed people out, but it didn't weed anybody out. And when they got to the masters, they were the people that wanted to get a master's in the first place. So the GREs didn't stop anybody. So when they realized that, they gave up with the GREs and just...
Well, it's also supposed to prep people for their classes because, for example, in physics, whatever you didn't pass on with the GRE, you take those classes at the university.
Well, no, it's very possible.
And you take the 800 level classes. You take the 800 level version of those classes for that section of the test that you did not do well on.
No, it's very possible that physics still requires it, but most of them, they dropped it, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if I go back to school, I'll just go get a master's in the entrepreneurship program on city campus, or I guess get a doctorate. I was screwed just getting a master's, and then just work in the Angler program, I guess. I'd love to build out a major for the Angler program. I'd love to be a part of that process, be like one of the founders for that. Because right now it's just a minor, but why not try and expand it so that it can be a major?
Mm-hmm.
But that's all well and good. But those things take time. I don't know where we're going with this podcast.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Are we about done?
Yeah. Would you stop? You're a menace to society. Actually, speaking of menace to society, so I was So I had this idea for this speech, and I came up with it like months ago, and my teacher was just like, the speech coach was like, well, why don't you write it out?
Pangolin.
Yeah, why don't you write it out and actually turn it into an actual speech? And I was
The
just
thing
like,
that caused COVID.
so
Pangolin.
yeah.
Did you know what pangolins were before COVID?
Yeah, actually,
Because I didn't.
there was
even know that was a thing.
there was a Google Doodle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, and you had to help this pangolin get to its mate, this other pangolin.
Huh.
And so I learned what a pangolin was from that. So, this speech, actually, I wrote it really fast. So, what do eating a pangolin covered in bat guano, taking advantage of half the women in Asia, not covering your mouth when you cough, killing 40 million people with ration bread, and not using a turn indicator while driving have in common? Well, using Simpson's paradox, you could find many things. One of these things disproportionately affects one is these things disproportionately affect women. 2, they only affect short people. And 3,
Whoa.
they only affect tall people. And yes, those last 2 contradict each other. And you now understand the Simpsons paradox and the basic statistical analysis. However, more importantly, these things affect large numbers of people negatively. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Sadly, the term things that affect large numbers of people negatively doesn't roll off the tongue. How about a menace to society? That's it. First, and then I go through what the points are, walk a mile in my shoes. By the time I'm finished, you will wonder what is wrong with me and question the ethics of owning and operating a functional time machine. Because I do go into the history, so But let's whip our way through the definition. Now, here's the thing, right? So, when I wrote this, I had to write it in the perspective of I'm a Zoomer. I'm a younger Zoomer. So, 15 years ago, this is a 15-year-old writing this. So, they probably didn't exist 15 years ago, which is wild, right? Because 15 years ago...
Wait, what are we talking? A 15-year-old Zoomer?
Yeah.
Zoomers were around 15 years ago.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is I'm writing it from their perspective, meaning that they weren't even born 15 years ago.
What do you mean?
Or they were when? No, I'm just saying now.
Born?
They came into existence. They hopped out of their mother's womb 15 years ago.
This is 2020, right?
I just wrote this now, 2023.
Okay, so 15 years later is what? 2008.
Right. So a 15-year-old would have no concept of this. Because when I was 8 years old, when they were 8 years old and when I was 8 years old were 2 completely different periods of time.
Okay.
When they were 8, I was 16. So, now 15 years ago, back when 64 gig flash drives were the nerd's fever dream and the clouds were chemtrails, looking up the definition of a word was not simple. If you were allowed, yes, the internet could have been used, but this was, quote, unreliable, end quote. You remember that, right? When they told you, never trust anything on the internet.
Oh.
And they didn't want you to use it, they wanted you to use books and crap. At least that's the way it made it seem like when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, more or less.
So you were told to use this thing.
You were told your Uncle Ernie's online.
I don't know who Uncle Ernie... No.
Yeah, Uncle Ernie.
Interesting.
You can look it up.
Anyways, and then you'd use this thing, and then the person giving the speech would hold out a dictionary. This is a book. It's a collection of thin white material.
It's a collection of tin white.
Oh, they got rid of my H. Probably auto. Well, I haven't read it through. Thin white material that was bound together and the words were inscribed upon it. These words were not meant to be read by a computer, by your eyes. This specific book was called a dictionary. We were told it contained all the words in the English lexicon you would ever need. Of course, this was a lie, and any word from pop culture or science would not be in there. Not be in here. Sorry, I guess you're holding the book. Which makes a large, funny which makes it a large, funny paperweight. And that's funny because paperweights are obsolete too. This is how...
Oh.
This is now... Sorry, yeah. I had such a weird statement. This is now, though, like talking like the present. It's a weird way of saying it. It probably needs to be said, this is the present, though. So, but anyways, this is now, though, and we have our Lord and Savior Google to get information from. So I'm going to split Menace to Society into two parts, Society and Menace. Google says a society is the aggregate of people living together in more or less ordered community. Well, that's cool. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure we'll figure it out together. According to Google, a menace is a person or thing that is likely to cause harm, a threat or danger. Evil laugh.
It says evil laugh.
You could say evil laugh, but I do actually have a pretty decent evil laugh. Because, like, most evil laughs are kind of just, like, are pretty fake. It's like, whoa, ha, 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 no. But I figured out how to make myself do a proper laugh that just sounds evil, and I can do it on command, but doesn't sound fake.
Okay.
So, which is fun that I figured out. Anyways, that's perfect. Basically, a menace to society is a human that threatens the utter existence of a collective of humans. Armed with this knowledge, let's dust off some historical examples. This is where things go off the rails a little bit. This entire... In my travels across space-time, I have seen many menaces. Several were presidents of the United States. You have Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, a few religious figures, and the list goes on. However, none were as toxic, despicable, and perfect male role models for someone as the three I picked today. Perfect role models.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Fun fact, all three today have chef's kiss facial hair.
There's a few notable figures leaving out, but whatever.
I said three.
Yeah, there were, what, you have Kim Jong-un.
Well, no, these aren't the three that we talk about. These are just... I just talk about there are many menaces, and I just took several U.S. presidents, Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, a few religious figures, and the list goes on. The three I talk about...
Oh, you haven't mentioned yet.
No.
Oh.
The three I talk about are... Okay, anyways, have perfect facial hair. The first man of the hour was born in 1162 CE and went by the name of Genghis Khan. Now, why is this old man with interesting fashion sense on my list? Well, not only did he plunder China for its riches, but in doing so established one of the largest empires to ever exist. His empire was brutal and was responsible for millions of deaths. However...
Wait, was he... I thought he was Mongolian.
Yeah, he is.
Why'd you say China?
Because he took over China.
Oh.
Do you know where Mongolia is?
Well, I thought it was just... Yes, I know it's right above China. I just thought it was kind of just like a... I don't know, identity issue. Whatever.
No, he is Mongolian, but the Mongols took over China.
Yeah.
Not only... but it riches...
Kind of like Alexander the Great. He was technically Macedonian, but then he took over Greece and Rome.
Yeah, he never did become Chinese, though. He never got remembered as being Chinese. He just got remembered because they built the wall because of him. Mm-hmm. Anyways, his empire was brutal and was responsible for millions of deaths. However, the most evil act were how he forced himself upon women. Lots of women. In fact, some studies suggest that 1 in 200 people are direct descendants of him. With that said, our next contestant needs no introduction. The mere mention of his name or regime is enough to get you canceled. I'd actually argue putting his signature mustache in the correct area on an outline of a face is enough. Is enough to get you canceled. So, what did the angry German mustache man do? You know who I'm talking about?
The man who made industrial-sized showers.
Well, he caused the Second World War and killed 6 million people because he didn't like their religion.
He didn't solely cause the war. There were other issues, but go on.
All because he got kicked out of art school and the military. Our last man is Joseph Stalin, a cold-blooded Russian communist. He has the highest death total...
Mussolini didn't make the cut.
No. Pussy. He has the highest death total on this list. He killed 40 million people, give or take 20 million, because the Soviet Union's head geneticist didn't understand actual genetics. So these people died for the sake of rationing bread. Stalin was also mean to just about anyone and everyone and anyone. If there is anyone you can think of that shouldn't be on this list, leave a comment below.
That shouldn't or should?
That should be, should or shouldn't be on this list. Leave a comment below. The joke, I was going to make a joke, but the point was too long already. I was going to say, now some people would say that Harry S. Truman should be on this list. And then replace Adolf Hitler with Harry S. Truman. And say, the guy nuked 2 cities and kept sheep on the White House lawn. What a nutcase.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having sheep. If Alexander, was it Hamilton, who invited alligators into the White House? Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think it was Hamilton actually, but
John Quincy Adams, the second president of the United States.
he kept an alligator in the White House for several months. It was a pet. It was
A
pet.
gift from...
Marquis de la See, there's nothing wrong with sheep. If you can bring an alligator into the White House, there is no problem with sheep.
Anyway, well, I mean, I have no problem with the sheep. It was just a joke. Anyways, now there are many different ways to be the ultimate menace to society. For example, I mentioned eating a bat guano-covered pangolin was just such method. This idea does rely on RNG. For those that don't play video games, this is randomness. This method, if the fates will have it, can cause a worldwide pandemic that will cost millions of people their lives and many more their jobs. It will also cause the world economy to lose trillions of dollars and redirect the U.S. and the world for the next looks at risk 30 to 100 years. Of course,
it's already rebound.
No, I mean, but world history's been redirected.
Yeah.
Anyways, of course I hear you have a thirst for more blood, death, destruction, and total world domination. Another evil laugh. I got you, fam. You need to reveals visual saying run for president, but I'm going to say run for U.S. Congress. Looks at board. Oh, presidency. Aren't you ambitious? No matter. The method, once you are in power, requires little to no political grease to get the doomsday ball rolling. So there are 4 easy steps to follow to ultimate menace to society. Step 1 is you need to have been born in the 1940s and be clean shaven. Why? Because America loves its boomers. Step 2 is to make sure everything you do is an effort to make as much power and wealth as possible. 3 is to become president of the United States of America. Finally, as president, you are ready to become the greatest menace of all time. Now, to do so, you have 2 options. Either you release a very deadly and contagious virus, or my favorite, nukes. Now, the nuclear option is going to be fast and easy. You are not aiming for military targets. You're killing the largest number of people possible, so you can use them. And then I have a map that circles targets and doesn't circle the United States and Europe, but China and Russia will take care of this for you. Congratulations, you have become the greatest menace to society ever. Although if society is gone, can you still be a menace to it? So what have we learned here today? Well, there are simply too much information to fit into one speech. So here is a link to my Patreon where you can see the working thing. I just thought it was funny. Like, imagine like a YouTube video. And so you have people leaving comments, doing the links. I thought the Zoomers would find it funny. Anyways, 2 is that I may have something wrong with me. And 3, how to be the best menace to society possible. And then you just go over the whole thing. So now I hope you will go forth, prosper, and bring civilization to its knees.
Whoa, we did this.
And then I just go over the 3 points again. That's the whole point of a conclusion.
Your thesis.
Yeah, you gotta re-go over it again.
Restate your thesis.
Anyways, so that's that didn't take me very long to write it all, and
There it is.
anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every Friday, noon Central Time, and good night.